Sometimes the people who give the most are the ones who suffer in silence, and sometimes the strongest looking person in the room is quietly fighting battles they pray no one ever discovers. This is the story of a schoolteacher who spent her life pouring kindness into everyone around her, her students, her co-workers, her community, while her own world quietly crumbled behind closed doors. She was too proud to ask anyone for help, until one unexpected moment changed everything. That it happened because of one man, one simple act of kindness, that reminded her she still mattered, more than she ever believed. Before we begin, if you're someone who believes in the power of kindness, compassion, and real human stories, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Your support helps our community grow here on Tales River, where every story reminds us what it means to be human. Her name was Ellen Parker, a middle school English teacher in a small town just outside of Denver, for nearly 20 years. She'd been the heartbeat of Willow Ridge Middle School, the teacher every kid remembered long after they left her classroom. Her lessons weren't just about grammar and essays. She taught her students how to believe in themselves, how to speak kindly, how to stand up for others. But life doesn't always reward the kindest people the way it should. 2 years earlier, Ellen's husband suffered a stroke that left him unable to work. Their medical bills piled up faster than she could pay them. Her salary barely covered the basics, and soon, the basics became a luxury. The foreclosure notice arrived quietly on a Tuesday morning. A thin white envelope taped to her front door. Her heart sank, but she took it inside, placed it under a stack of papers, and went to work like everything was fine. Because Ellen Parker didn't ask for help, not ever. She was the one who always helped others. At school, she smiled. She laughed with her students. She told them stories, read their poems, and encouraged their dreams. But every afternoon, when the hallways emptied and the lights dimmed, Ellen stayed behind in her classroom, sitting alone at her desk, staring at her worn-out purse, deciding which bill she could ignore for one more week. That's where she was the day Daniel Miller walked in. Daniel wasn't a teacher, he was the school's new maintenance supervisor, quiet, friendly. The kind of guy who always had a small toolbox in one hand and a gentle smile in the other. He'd been fixing a broken door down the hall when he noticed Ellen still sitting at her desk long after everyone else had gone. He knocked lightly on her open door. "You okay in here?" he asked. Ellen straightened her papers, forcing a smile. "Oh, yes. I'm fine. Just catching up on grading." Daniel nodded, though he sensed something deeper beneath her tired eyes. "Well, if you ever need anything, I'm around. These old buildings keep me pretty busy," he joked softly. She appreciated the kindness, but pride made her avoid eye contact. "Thank you, but I'm all right." "Really?" He nodded again and left, but something in her voice stayed with him. Something wasn't right. Over the next few weeks, Daniel started noticing little details, things most people would overlook. Ellen's shoes were wearing thin, her lunch was often nothing more than crackers from the teacher's lounge, and twice, he'd seen her sitting alone in her car during the freezing January mornings, warming her hands over a tiny cup of gas station coffee. Daniel wasn't nosy, but he was human, and he knew what quiet suffering looked like. One Thursday evening, as he was sweeping the hallway outside her classroom, he overheard a phone conversation, her voice trembling, barely above a whisper. "No. I can't make another payment right now," she said. "Yes, I understand. But please. I just need a little more time." He heard her sniff, then the phone clicked off. Her chair squeaked as she slowly lowered her head into her hands. Daniel froze. He didn't want to embarrass her, but something inside him whispered, "Do something. Don't walk away." So he gently tapped on her door again. She shot upright, wiping her eyes fast. "Oh, Daniel. I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was still here." He spoke softly. "Ellen, you don't have to apologize. I hurt a little. Are you sure you're okay?" Her chin tightened. "Yes. I'm fine. Really, I'm just a little tired." But Daniel didn't walk away, not this time. He closed the door behind him, giving her privacy. "I don't mean to cross any lines," he said. "But I've been in tough places before. Sometimes we hold everything inside because we don't want to feel like a burden." Her eyes glistened, she shook her head. "I'm not a burden. I don't want help I can't pay back." That's not how kindness works, he said gently. Kindness doesn't send invoices. For the first time, her shoulders loosened, but only slightly. Daniel sat in the chair across from her. I'm not asking for details. I just want you to know, if you ever need support, financial, emotional, whatever, I'm here. And not because I pity you, but because people like you have spent their whole lives lifting others up. Let someone lift you for once. Her breath caught in her throat. And no one had ever spoken to her like that. Still, she whispered, I can't ask for help. Then don't ask, he replied gently, just let someone care. That broke her. Tears spilled over, silent but unstoppable, and for the first time in months, Ellen allowed herself to cry, not out of weakness, but out of sheer exhaustion. Daniel didn't interrupt. He didn't lecture. He simply sat there, giving her space, letting her know she wasn't alone. The next morning, Ellen arrived at school early. When she unlocked her classroom door, something was waiting on her desk. A plain envelope. No name. No note. Inside were $400 in cash, and a typed message, you matter. Please don't carry everything alone. Her hand covered her mouth. She looked around the empty room, tears filling her eyes again. She wasn't angry, she wasn't embarrassed, she was overwhelmed by a kind of kindness she hadn't felt in years, one that came without conditions. She suspected Daniel, but he never said a word. Over the next month, things changed. Daniel would quietly leave small bags of groceries in her car. School supplies appeared in her classroom cabinets. Her husband's medical prescriptions were anonymously paid for at the pharmacy. Ellen tried to return the money. Daniel gently refused every time. Use it, he'd say, your husband needs it more than I do. For someone so proud, accepting help felt uncomfortable, even painful, but Daniel made it feel less like charity and more like shared humanity. Slowly, Ellen rediscovered something she'd forgotten. The world still had good people in it, and she still deserved kindness. One Friday morning, after her students left for lunch, Ellen found Daniel in the hallway repairing a locker door. She hesitated, then spoke softly. Daniel, wait. He looked up, smiling gently. Hey, Ellen. What's up? She stood there, hands trembling slightly. I just wanted to say, thank you. For everything. I know you think I don't know, but I know. Daniel wiped his hands on a rag. You don't owe me thanks. Really? No, she insisted, voice cracking. I need to say this. Because you didn't just help me get through a hard time. You reminded me that kindness still exists. You reminded me that I'm not invisible. He swallowed, touched by her words. You're not invisible, he said softly, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met. And if the world had more Ellens, it would be a much kinder place. She smiled then, genuinely, for the first time in months. Maybe, she said, but the world could use more Daniels too. They stood there for a moment, quiet but at peace. Life didn't magically become easy after that. Bills still came, her husband still needed care, work remained stressful, but now, Ellen didn't face it alone. She learned that accepting kindness wasn't weakness, it was strength. And Daniel, he became a lifelong friend, not because he rescued her, but because he reminded her that kindness is something we all deserve. In a world that often feels loud, harsh, and rushed, kindness can feel rare, but the truth is, it's everywhere, sometimes quiet, sometimes anonymous, sometimes hidden behind a simple smile or a small envelope left on a desk. Kindness doesn't always fix everything, but it changes something. It changes people, and sometimes, that's enough to save someone's entire world. So if you ever feel the urge to help someone, do it. If someone tries to help you, let them, because kindness, both given and received, is what keeps the world gentle. And who knows, maybe one small act of compassion will be the moment someone realizes they still matter.